Our hero prepares to unleash a powerful technique, the true Ganryu style, swallow reversal. As he faces off against two imposing winged demons, his intense gaze signals the deadly precision behind the blade that gleams black. The battlefield trembles with anticipation. With a swift, decisive strike, the hero's cursed blade slices through one demon, eliciting a pained roar. The other demon reels in shock, struggling to comprehend the sudden, overwhelming power. Calm and unyielding, our hero steps forward, promising to share the deadly might of his cursed blade as a grim souvenir from their journey to the underworld. Though he struggles to recall his own name, the hero firmly declares his identity as a samurai, embodying the spirit and resolve of a true warrior. The remaining demon, stunned and desperate, demands to know what he truly is. With unwavering confidence, the hero's presence alone speaks volumes on the battlefield. The group stands united before a grand castle, each radiating their unique strength and resolve. The confident warrior at the forefront grips his sword, ready for the challenges ahead, while the others display a mix of determination, grace, and readiness. Together, they embody a powerful alliance, poised to face the unknown. The scene shifts to a modern setting where the protagonist discovers the thrill and danger of online shopping, a world where a single click seals the deal. Overwhelmed but exhilarated, he can't help but declare this new experience so freaking cool, his excitement shining through as he embraces this unexpected adventure. The hero passionately offers his soul to the cursed blade, demanding its power to grant his wish, back in the modern world. The protagonist is captivated by the story's art and world building, feeling his inner fanboy ignite as he eagerly decides to buy the entire series. With a click, he adds it all to his cart, fully immersed in this thrilling new adventure. Just as he thinks his purchase is complete, he realizes with a jolt that he accidentally bought the full series along with a replica sword set. Panicked, he frantically tries to cancel the order, but the system coldly informs him it's too late. Resigned, he decides to accept it. After all, having the whole series is worth it, even if next time he'll check more carefully. The protagonist wakes up to the morning light, groggy and realizing he'd fallen into a rage nap. Despite knowing he should get ready for college, he decides to bury himself back under the covers, unwilling to face the day just yet. Suddenly startled by an early knock, he rushes to the door, grumbling about the unexpected visitor. A delivery guy stands there with two heavy packages, confirming he's at the right address. The protagonist, still half-dazed, accepts the boxes, amazed at how quickly the order arrived. Still feeling the weight of the unexpected delivery, he decides to put off reading the manga for now, curious but cautious. He wonders if replica swords are always this massive and heavy. With a resigned sigh, he begins to unwrap one of the swords, unable to resist any longer. Though the sword's design doesn't match the picture, the protagonist can't help but feel exhilarated as he finally draws it out. Despite his initial doubts, he's completely captivated, imagining himself wielding it with excitement. Feeling a mix of excitement and caution, he prepares to swing the sword, carefully mindful of his surroundings. With a determined look, he decides to test it with just one swing. As he moves, the sword cuts through the air with surprising speed and force, unleashing a powerful slash. The sword's swing unleashes an unexpected burst of energy, catching the protagonist completely off guard. Shocked and unable to maintain his balance, he stumbles backward, shouting in disbelief. The overwhelming force sends him tumbling through the air, his grip on the sword slipping as he falls. Thrown off balance by the sword's overwhelming force, the protagonist crashes to the ground, wincing in pain as he catches his breath. He notices a mysterious hole has appeared nearby, leaving him bewildered and questioning what just occurred. As the protagonist turns around, he finds himself face to face with a group of armored guards, their expressions a mix of surprise and concern. The tension in the air is palpable, as they cautiously grip their spears, unsure of what to make of the sudden disturbance. Still shaken, the protagonist forces a nervous smile, trying to mask his confusion as he mutters, "Huh!" Behind him, the guards remain tense, their wary eyes fixed on him, unsure of his true intentions. The guards excitedly announce the hero's arrival, convinced the summoning ritual has worked and that the legendary holy sword is now in his possession. Meanwhile, the protagonist is utterly confused, struggling to understand their words about summoning, heroes, and holy swords. The protagonist struggles to make sense of the situation, wondering if this is some kind of cosplay event and why he was suddenly teleported here. Meanwhile, the regal old man calmly reveals that this is his kingdom, Itoil, and that the castle is his venue. Though their conversation quickly reveals they're completely out of sync, feeling utterly hopeless, the protagonist realizes they're not even on the same wavelength. A graceful young woman named Erica appears, addressing the old man as father with calm confidence. She suggests that the hero is merely confused from being summoned to this world and offers to take charge of the situation. The old man acknowledges her presence warmly, showing trust in her judgment. The old man entrusts Erica with the task of guiding the hero. Believing she's better suited for the role, Erica warmly introduces herself to the protagonist. Asking his name with a gentle smile, flustered but polite, he nervously responds, revealing his name as Soji Miyamoto. Erica apologizes sincerely for summoning Soji so abruptly. While he nervously insists it's no trouble, Soji, still confused, asks where he is. Realizing he was just at home moments ago, Erica gently explains that this world is not the one he once knew and offers to show him around so he can understand better. Soji's shock deepens as he struggles to comprehend the reality before him. Erica looks on with calm resolve, explaining that he was summoned to this world as its hero, entrusted with the mission to save it. The sprawling castle and cityscape behind her emphasize the gravity of the task ahead. 3 days have passed since Soji's arrival, and he's been living a life of ease and luxury, treated like a true hero. As he enjoys a lavish breakfast, he can't help but wish this were all just a dream. But when he tries to savor a cup of tea, panic suddenly strikes. This situation feels utterly impossible to him. The hero struggles to accept his reality, pinching his cheek in vain for proof that this is just a dream. Grasping the sword, he recalls how it tore through space when he swung it and wonders if it might be a cursed blade capable of sending him back if he uses it again. With a mix of hope and desperation, he prepares to test this possibility. With determination, he swings the sword once more, hoping it will send him back home. As the blade tears through the air, a bright light fills the room, and he shouts with joy, convinced his escape is finally at hand. But suddenly, he crashes to the floor, the sword slipping from his grasp, and the light fades, leaving him stunned and still trapped. The hero finds himself in an unfamiliar room, panic rising as he questions if he messed up again. Frustrated, he lashes out at the sword, declaring it's not a cursed blade after all. Suddenly, a voice from behind reveals the truth. He's not a hero, and the sword isn't magical, shattering his hope and forcing him to confront his reality. The princess suddenly appears in his room, catching him completely off guard, despite his shock and confusion. She calmly asks him to recount his story in detail, shifting the focus from the unexpected intrusion to the truth behind his tale. The princess processes the hero's story, her mood suddenly shifting as she lets out a heavy sigh, surprised by the change. He nervously agrees to her summary, that he's not a true hero, but merely a fake. Her blunt declaration leaves him stunned and speechless. The protagonist desperately insists he was never a hero, so he can't be a fake either, but a growing unease tells him something is off about the princess. She coldly reveals the harsh truth. Everyone believes he's the real hero, but if they discover he's a fraud, the punishment will be execution. Shocked, he protests that execution is far too extreme, but the princess remains resolute. The princess firmly accuses him of impersonating the hero, dismissing his protests. The weight of the situation sinks in as he realizes everyone, including her father, truly believes in his false identity. She then coldly offers him a grim choice, leaving him stunned and desperate for answers. The princess delivers a chilling ultimatum. Either he faces execution as he is, or he must truly defeat the Demon King as the hero. The weight of this sudden, life-or-death choice crashes down on him, leaving no room for hesitation. The protagonist is given a shocking ultimatum: face execution or rise as a hero to defeat the Demon Lord. The sheer weight of this sudden demand leaves him reeling in disbelief, struggling to process the impossible task laid before him. A striking figure steps forward, an imposing woman clad in elaborate armor, exuding confidence and authority. Behind her, the protagonist grips his sword, eyes filled with uncertainty. As the weight of his new reality presses down, the castle looms in the background, a silent witness to the fateful crossroads before them. The woman insists that defeating the Demon Lord is the only thing that matters, regardless of whether he's a true hero or not. Overwhelmed, the protagonist protests that it's impossible for someone like him to succeed. She coldly warns that refusing to try means he'll simply die without making a move, leaving him to wrestle with the crushing reality of his choice. The protagonist protests, insisting he's never even fought before, but the armored woman remains firm. Execution is the only alternative to fighting, as he contemplates his bleak past and the possibility of a life without suffering. Doubt and hesitation cloud his mind. Suddenly, a new figure bursts onto the scene, sword drawn, ready to change the course of fate. The protagonist reflects quietly on the manga, admitting he hasn't finished reading it yet, leaving the girl puzzled. Suddenly, He bursts with determination, shouting that he'll take on the challenge, defeat the demon lord, and become a true hero. His resolve marks a turning point, ready to face the impossible. With a confident smile, the girl declares their fate sealed, marking the start of the protagonist's journey as a hero destined to face the demon lord head-on. But reality quickly sets in, revealing that the path ahead is far from simple. Exhausted and drenched in sweat, the protagonist struggles to catch his breath as his comrades anxiously check on him, despite insisting he's fine. He admits to himself that the intense month of training is overwhelming, especially since he hasn't exercised since high school and is more of an indoor type. His friends worry, but remind themselves that being chosen by the Holy Sword should mean he can handle it. Right? The arrival of Lady Erica instantly shifts the mood, her confident presence demanding respect. The protagonist's nervousness is palpable as she playfully warns him about revealing his true identity. Quickly recovering, he bows deeply, overwhelmed by the honor of meeting her. With a bright smile, she rallies the group, sparking renewed determination to face the demon lord. The comrades cheer on the hero, urging him not to lose momentum as he pushes himself harder. Lady Erica's confident smirk reveals a deeper personal stake in his success, her playful encouragement masking a serious resolve. Meanwhile, the protagonist grits his teeth, sweat pouring down as he fights through his exhaustion with fierce determination. The hero's journey begins with grueling physical training to toughen his body, followed by lessons from the princess about the divided world he now inhabits. This realm is split into two: the East, ruled by humans, and the West, dominated by the demon lord and his forces. The world is divided between the human-ruled East and the demon lord's Western forces, who seek conquest. To counter this threat, a protective goddess summons a hero, the last hope of humanity, armed with the holy sword. Despite the overwhelming burden, the protagonist is chosen for this mission, though he secretly wishes he could run away, only to be sternly warned against it. The princess warns the hero that she'll personally kill him if he tries to run away, revealing her fierce determination to keep him on this journey, despite his nervous protests. She reminds him that she's there to help, and that his survival depends on training hard. The hero realizes just how serious and intimidating the princess truly is, even more so than a demon. The hero nervously asks why the princess, of all people, is risking a dangerous journey alongside them. She calmly closes a book and begins to reveal that she's searching for her destined partner, leaving him puzzled and curious. The princess explains that in their country, the hero who defeats the demon lord is destined to marry her, catching the protagonist completely off guard. When he nervously tries to process this, she quickly shuts down any hopeful assumptions he might have, firmly stating that it won't be with him. The hero nervously wonders if defeating the demon lord means they won't have to get married, but the princess quickly clarifies that since he's a fake, he's exempt from marriage and even execution. She confidently reveals her true goal: to travel widely and find her destined partner on her own terms, not bound by tradition. The hero is left stunned and unsure how to react to her bold declaration. The princess points out that their goals align: his desire to survive and her quest to find a husband, suggesting they have a mutual interest. The hero cautiously asks if that means they're allies for now, to which she agrees with a confident smile. Despite feeling trapped without her help, he reluctantly accepts their uneasy alliance as she warns him not to expect any compromises on her journey. A few days later, the hero's stamina has noticeably improved after intense daily training. When asked what he needs next, the princess presents a large box, explaining that a hero obviously requires proper equipment. The hero looks at the box, surprised and curious about its contents. The princess reveals that the royal tailor crafted the outfit using information from the hero's world, presenting it as essential gear for him. Surprised and impressed, the hero can't help but express his excitement. She reminds him to be grateful for the effort put into preparing him. The hero beams with excitement, praising the outfit for matching his sword and looking incredibly cool. The princess explains the clothes were designed for easy movement, tailored specifically for his unique katana. Feeling a surge of enthusiasm, the hero reflects on the journey he's embarked upon, while the princess watches him with a soft, thoughtful expression. The princess invites the hero inside and introduces two reliable companions who will join their quest to defeat the demon lord. Arca the warrior and Semirina Lawrence, the saint, both stand confidently, ready to support the hero on this perilous journey. The hero nervously meets the new party members, introducing himself as Suji, surprised by their casual and playful demeanor. He questions if these two are really part of his team. One companion teasingly remarks that Suji doesn't sound very heroic, prompting a lighthearted scolding from the saintly member, while the warrior tries to brush off the comment as a bad habit. The saintly Semirina formally introduces herself, expressing her dedication to spreading the goddess's radiance and her eagerness to work alongside the hero. Overwhelmed by her imposing presence, the hero nervously stammers a greeting, while inwardly shocked by her size. As she smiles warmly, he suddenly senses an unsettling chill, adding to his unease. Doubt creeps into the hero's mind as he surveys his quirky and seemingly fragile party, questioning if they're truly strong enough to face the demon lord. Despite his uncertainty, one companion casually calls out to him, breaking the tense moment. The girl reminds the group that their departure is scheduled for tomorrow, catching the hero off guard. He reacts with surprise and a hint of panic, clearly unprepared for the sudden reminder. Meanwhile, the companions respond with cheerful acknowledgement, signaling the start of their unexpected journey. The girl firmly reminds the group that their departure is set for tomorrow, catching the hero completely off guard. His shocked expression reveals his unpreparedness, while the others react with excitement and readiness. The sudden announcement marks the unexpected start of their journey. At the gates of Itoil Kingdom's castle, a determined young woman bids farewell to her father. Ready to embark on her journey, her father's serious warning to stay careful lingers in the air as the adventure officially begins. The king solemnly entrusts the hero with the safety of his daughter, Erica, and the fate of the kingdom and humanity itself. With unwavering determination, the hero vows to defeat the demon king, reassuring the monarch that the mission is in capable hands. The king's heartfelt gratitude reveals the heavy burden now placed on the hero's shoulders. As the carriage rolls away from the castle, the hero lets out a relieved sigh, reflecting on the overwhelming send-off from the kingdom's people. The companion reminds him that their journey will draw constant attention, urging him to get used to the spotlight that now follows them. The companion warns that if certain information gets out, it would spell disaster, causing the hero to wince nervously. Despite the looming threat of war, the surroundings remain surprisingly calm, hinting at a deceptive peace. The heroine confidently reassures them that their kingdom is the largest and safest in the human realm, with the demon king's forces yet to breach its borders, though she questions if she's already made this clear. The heroine reminds the hero that monsters roam everywhere in this world, prompting him to nervously insist he remembers that clearly. With a gentle smile, she advises him not to let his guard down and calls him by name, Suji, catching him off guard. She then explains that on such a long journey, it's natural for close companions to address each other by their names, leaving him a bit flustered. The heroine warmly invites him to call her Semirina without hesitation, which he happily agrees to. Trying to keep up, he decides to call her Erica as well, but the third companion's stern glare warns him not to get too comfortable. Suddenly, an uneasy chill runs down his spine, catching him off guard. The heroine playfully presses her hands against the hero's, teasing him about catching a cold and offering a prayer for his recovery. Leaving him flustered and embarrassed, suddenly, the hero's attention snaps to a sudden commotion as a horse-drawn carriage barrels into view, startling him. Suddenly, the group is jostled, causing an awkward accidental touch that leaves the hero flustered and the heroine indignant. Just as tension rises, a new arrival rushes in, urgently warning them that monsters have appeared nearby. The companions instantly shift their focus, bracing themselves for the impending threat. A pack of gray wolves blocks their path, surrounding the group and forcing them into a fight. Despite her distaste for unnecessary battles, the heroine readies herself, calling out to Suji. He responds with determination, rallying to face the threat head-on. The group quickly organizes their defense, with the heroine taking the right flank and Suji the left, while another readies a protective barrier around the carriage. Despite his fear, Suji steels himself, recalling his training and resolve to defeat the Demon King, knowing he must overcome even these lesser foes to achieve his goal. With a fierce battle cry, Suji lunges at the wolves, striking one down as the others close in. His eyes burn with determination, pushing past his fear to protect the group. But just as he moves forward, something unexpected catches his foot, halting him in surprise. Just as the wolves close in, Suji's foot catches on something, throwing him off balance. He stumbles, eyes wide with alarm, as the snarling beasts loom dangerously close. Instinctively, he drops into a defensive stance, ready to fight despite the sudden setback. Just as the wolf lunges, a sharp icicle pierces its side, halting the attack instantly. The heroine, calm and focused, warns the hero not to let his guard down. Flustered but grateful, he quickly apologizes, realizing the battle is far from over. With a powerful swing, the heroine effortlessly takes down the last of the wolves, her confidence shining through as she declares victory. The group breathes a sigh of relief, acknowledging her skill and strength despite her small stature. The protagonist watches in awe, realizing she's truly a formidable warrior. The heroine quickly checks on everyone, relieved to hear they're all fine despite the recent fight. Noticing a small scrape on Arca, she gently cautions him not to push himself too hard, watching her care and calm demeanor. The protagonist realizes she's a dependable healer, truly like a saint for their party. The group celebrates their hard-won victory with cheerful fist bumps, basking in the moment of triumph. But suddenly, a dark, ominous eye appears, casting a shadow over their joy. The protagonist, Suji, suddenly feels a chill and starts to tremble, alarming the heroine, who immediately asks if something's wrong. The heroine gently urges Suji to rest and offers to make him a warm drink. Concerned about his sudden weakness, Suji, still shaken, manages a weak thanks as he tries to steady himself. Meanwhile, a sinister voice reveals that the enemy's intel about the hero's party moving was accurate, hinting at a looming threat. A towering, muscular demon with wings and horns suddenly appears before the group. Confidently greeting the hero, Suji, caught off guard and alarmed, demands to know the stranger's identity as the party reacts with shock and tension. The imposing demon proudly declares himself as Lord Palpados, one of the Demon King's 7 elites, shocking the party. The group reacts with a mix of fear and disbelief, struggling to comprehend the presence of such a powerful enemy in the supposedly safe Itoil Kingdom. Tension rises as one of them urgently demands an explanation for this alarming intrusion. The Demon Lord coldly declares he's here by the Demon King's order to eliminate dangerous elements like them. The heroine demands to know why a high-ranking enemy officer is in such a place, while the demon mocks the hero's inability to defeat lesser foes. Amid the tension, a concerned ally notices Suji trembling with anger, silently calling his name. Frustration boils over as Arca angrily protests the Demon King's reckless strategy of sending an elite boss right from the start, insisting heroes should face weaker foes first to grow stronger. Despite warnings to hold back, she defiantly declares their mission is to defeat the Demon King himself, refusing to be intimidated by the elite demon's presence. The tension escalates as another ally urgently tries to stop her from rushing into danger. With a fierce battle cry, the heroine lunges forward, swinging her weapon at the Demon Lord. He effortlessly blocks the attack with a smirk, taunting her as he declares her strike too light. The clash of their fight intensifies in this high-stakes confrontation. The Demon Lord unleashes a brutal kick, sending Arca flying through the air with a pained cry. Suji's eyes widen in alarm as he urgently calls out her name, rushing to catch her before she hits the ground. The intensity of the battle leaves the group shaken and desperate to protect their comrade. Despite her pain, the heroine insists she's fine, brushing off the concern as her ally anxiously checks on her. But the Demon Lord's menacing grin returns, promising to keep smashing them until they break, turning the fight increasingly desperate. The group's resolve falters as the stakes grow ever darker.